Well, we're here today with Terry Kirkham, the new head coach for Samford Rangers. Welcome, Terry.
Thank you very much, Ian.
Look, the obvious question has to be, why Samford Rangers?
Look, it's a great local club. It's been around for a long time, and I've been down here many times when my son was playing as a junior, and ventured down here over the years. And when the opportunity came to come here came up, it was something I certainly wasn't not going to explore. And as soon as I walked in the door, met the president, Nick Wallace, and the committee, and I felt very at home straight away. And I thought, this would be a great opportunity to come to a club that wants some direction and wants to move forward, and that suited me very well at the time.
And what was perhaps the deciding factor for that decision?
No, look, it's a challenge. It's and for me, I've come through the lower levels as coaching to become an assistant coach at the highest level in Melbourne in the Victorian Premier League. And I took my first senior job back at a Division 3 club and had great success there and fantastic times. And then moved my way through to the Brisbane Premier League, where I came to Peninsula in 2007, halfway through the season. And this club is exactly the same sort of feel as what I found when I walked in the door for the first time at Peninsula Power. And had 6 great years at Peninsula with some massive success. And I felt this is exactly the same feeling, and I thought this is what I need at this time in my career.
As you touched on, you do have an extensive coaching history, having been head coach NPL sides Moreton Bay, Olympic, and more recently Western Pride. How do you think that level of coaching will translate to community level here at Samford, and will you have to adapt your approach at all?
No, I don't think I'm going to adapt my approach. I think the club and the players will have to adapt their approach. So for me now, it's about bringing some professionalism from the highest level, and these players getting the opportunity to work with a coach that has also too transitioned all the way through to the top. And I feel that that's going to be a massive bonus for them. All of the coaches that are at the club as well are now going to get opportunities to work with someone. And through my career as a junior coach coming through to senior level, I didn't get that opportunity until I hit reserve team football, where Gus McLeod in Melbourne was a Victorian Premier League coach, a legend. He dropped 4 divisions and came into a local club exactly like what I've just done. And he gave me a massive opportunity that set up my career. And I look at my career now, 23 years on in the coaching game, and still going strong. And I learnt from Gus what you can put back into football by not thinking you have to stay at the top. Disappointed I haven't got a chance to go to the A-League, but also too very excited that I can come back to the capital leagues and the Brisbane Premier Leagues and be well respected and welcomed into a football family that makes you feel good.
Have you been given a brief by the club as to what they're expecting from you next season?
Yeah, look, the thing that won me here is their philosophy. It's the most simple philosophy I've seen in my entire career. And Nick Wallace's main thing to me is that be the best you can be. And to be honest with you, as soon as he sold that to me, that won me. To be the best you can be. Well, if I can come to Samford and be the best that I can be, which means that I need to be happy, working with coaching staff that want to follow one direction, the players want to go one direction, the club wants to go one direction. If we can all be the best we can be, that's the committee, that's the volunteers, that's the players, that's the coaches, and myself as a head coach, then that's the biggest thing that's going to drive us to success.
What would you say is probably one main element you will be bringing to the club?
Direction, definitely direction. Lots of fun. As everyone knows around my time in football in Brisbane, I love lots of fun. And hopefully my experience can not just benefit the players but also to the coaches. I'm very keen to work with the coaches and be around and be a talking to point for kids and help everyone through the community and that side of things too.
And are there any key signings you'd like to allude to?
It's not about the names, it's about key positions. I have brought in those positions straight away. So there was 4 key positions that Steve identified, and I filled those within the first week. But key signings that I would talk about is the experience again. Paul Brownlee is coming to the club as a reserve team coach and assistant to myself. Jason McKee will be the first team assistant. Jason's a Samford boy, and Michael McAvoy, who once again seasoned professional. Michael's played under me at 2 clubs. Whenever I've called on him, he's come in and done a fantastic job. Those key guys there are a very, very key element to me. The rest of the players, look, Doesn't matter who they are. They could be one of the best players running around in Queensland. They might drop down to this level. It's all of the players that I need to sign to make sure they can get the job done.
You run your own successful auction business. How do you find time for football?
I started coaching in 1993. I started my business in 1993. Both of those businesses for me, because football is a business for me now, has been for a long time, have come through together. In Australia, in my industry, I'm at the top of the game. I'm one of the only independent firms left. The main firms in my industry are now all massively corporately owned or owned from international companies. I've chose to stay independent, and football takes me away from work. Work takes me away from football, and I'm lucky at both. That I've been able to make a career out of both as well, and my kids now being involved around the football club is paramount. And when you walk into a football club and you see the kids playing, and then you walk in on a Saturday night and you're playing at home, and you can see that you've got influence of that team, and you can see that team improving and winning, and the people starting to come to games. It's a bug. They don't talk about the coaches anymore in football, but in my experience, I've had a lot to do with improving teams. And then when I see the crowds, and when I first come to clubs, the crowds are small. In 6 months' time, those crowds are big, and you see people happy. It's a bug. I don't know however I'm going to get rid of it. It's hard. That's why I've come to Samford, because I think we're going to have lots of fun here and get lots of social enjoyment as well.
And what would you say is your long-term sort of goal? Where do you see yourself in, say, 10 years?
I think my coaching career, because of age, will come to a halt at some stage. I certainly wouldn't want to go backwards. It'd be a move into the next level, and corporately is somewhere that I would start to eye off.
Well, Terry, thanks for your time this morning, and we'll see you next year out in the traps.
Juddy, thank you. And by the way, I'm really looking forward to working back in Football Brisbane and working with you guys as well, because before the NPL started, Football Brisbane, the Brisbane Premier League, was very, very strong, and I had some great success and many, many great times and some fantastic interviews. And by the way, I look forward to tussling with some of the coaches as well back in this league.
So Trent, what does Terry Kirkham coming to the club as head coach mean to the club?
Having Terry come to the club is an amazing opportunity for us, not just based on his experience and his resume around the country, but the passion and exuberance he brings with himself. He's very focused not only on his coaching of the teams he's got, but also how he can impart his knowledge to other coaches throughout the club. For us, that's an amazing opportunity to have that level of experience really working to drive us forward.
And look, Samford have obviously done extremely well over the last couple of years. You're challenging probably for the Premier League hopefully next year. What do you think is the one thing at Samford Rangers that the club does well at?
I would say, if I was to summarise it as simply as I can, is that we get our members on the field to play football. Now, there's a lot of work that goes into doing that and to doing that well, and our philosophy at the club here is be the best we can be, and behind that it's all of the mechanics that go into making sure the field is right, making sure our coaches are right, making sure the support we have for our members is right, and that all goes into getting our members on the field to play football.
And Samford Parklands is going to be playing host to the One Brisbane Roar W League pre-season game early next month. How did the club manage to secure that game?
I think first and foremost, our amazing facilities probably contributed to that. Moreton Bay Regional Council has really helped us build this facility to make it able to host such an amazing event as this. We do have a connection, bit of an advantage with Raw already. So some of their players do some of their strength and conditioning and injury prevention work down here, as their physio is based in Samford. So the connection between that physio, he was previously at Samford, really has helped us. And as soon as we got the opportunity to host this game, we jumped at it.
Will there be much preparation needed to get ready for it?
With any large event, there is always plenty of preparation. We really want to put on a good show. Having such amazing professional athletes here, we've taken steps to arrange junior girls to be able to walk the teams out and play some games at half time. They're the role models of not just our young girls but our young boys, and to have them here, we really want to do them justice. So there's plenty of work going in to make sure it's a bit of an event.
And obviously on that, you're hopefully expecting a reasonable crowd to come down?
Fairly decent crowd. It's hard to tell because you don't get those numbers, but it's not unreasonable to think 300, 500, 1,000 people, who knows? It could be any amount, to be honest.
Yeah, and just to reiterate, so that game will be played when and what time?
On 2nd of November, 1 p.m. kickoff. We'll have the canteen and all facilities open from lunchtime before that. Come on down.